Let's take a close look at the Office of the National Coordinator Certified InTouch EMR scheduling, documentation, and billing software completely integrated with marketing to grow your practice. When you log into InTouch EMR, you'll have the option to toggle back and forth between the screens at the top so you can take advantage of the entire screen if you want to. Now you'll see the documents in progress, you'll see documents for review, all of which can be expanded or collapsed, and you'll see completed documents. On the right side, you'll get a sense of your referrals, your productivity, upcoming birthdays, and the system automatically alerts you about them, any prescriptions that may be required, any progress notes that are due, and any reevaluations that are due as well. So when you're on the InTouch EMR calendar, you can see all the different appointments are color coded. You want to get into an all green zone because that means that the appointment was actually completed and the finalized so that it could then be submitted automatically to InTouch Biller Pro. Now, if you click on an appointment, you'll see all the details pertaining to that patient at one glance. You can click on this button here and get to the patient document in one click. You can also click on the patient dashboard and get to the patient dashboard in one click. On the patient dashboard, you'll see all the relevant alerts for the patient. You can click the edit button and you can get to that alert. So you can actually edit that alert in one click. So in one click, I can change the physician prescription alert. I can change the progress note alert so the system will let me know when the next progress note is due. I can do the same for evaluation alerts. And the system can also keep track of when the Medicare cap is exhausted. Now, whenever a document is completed, you can right click and add a document to a certification list. This way you can keep track as to when when as to the fact that you're expecting a signed certification back from the doctor, and once you get a signed certification back, you can assign it to a document, and then the icon changes from red to green. You can also fax documents right from within InTouch EMR. And when you fax a document successfully, you'll see a green check mark along with the date and time stamp. Unlimited e-faxing is included with your InTouch EMR account. At a glance, you can see all the documents in progress, all the completed documents, your plan of care, your flow sheet, and any miscellaneous notes you may have for that patient. You can also upload any documents. If you decide to switch to InTouch EMR from another system, you can upload all the patient data into InTouch EMR with one click. You can also, at a glance, review all the appointments that are pending for that patient, that are upcoming, previous, that have been completed, that have still not yet been bound to a note, that are perhaps in review, submitted by a PTA to another PT. So there's a lot you can do here. Now, if I was to create a new document, let's say I was to create a new progress note right now for this patient, so I simply click on progress note. The system will now alert you that it's time, in fact, in this case, the system is alerting you to create a progress note because that's the only choice you're given. If I was to try and do something else, if I was to try and create a daily note, for example, the system would alert you because the progress note alert or the reevaluation alert is basically saying, hey, you've got to create this type of note because that's the only thing you can do. So now what I've done is I've told the system, okay, I'm going to create a progress note. So now what happens is in this situation, you're documenting a progress note. InTouch EMR allows you to document a detailed subjective, objective, flow sheet, assessment, plan, and then review the claim before it's actually submitted to billing. Under subjective, I can enter different data points like the preliminary details, the current status. All of this text can be entered automatically. Actually, if I was to simply type in a phrase, then the system would automatically display text. All I did was I typed out the phrase and the system automatically displayed the text. There are certain essential fields that you absolutely have to enter so you remain compliant. You can enter the previous status. You can click on the dynamic goal box, which is the G button here, and actually document a goal as you're entering subjective and objective data, and then the goal will automatically appear in the plan of care by the time you get there. So again, you can create your customized, you can create a subjective history, you can actually create a subjective template as well and build your own templates. Under objective, you can also build your own templates. The template builder in InTouch EMR gives you a significant amount of flexibility to build your own templates, and we strongly suggest that you build your own templates using our template builder. You can now start documenting within the template that you've built. You can pretty much create any template you want, or we can make some pre-populated templates ready for you, available to you to help you get started. But again, you decide your own clinical journey. You paint the clinical picture. The flow sheet in InTouch EMR is more than just a flow sheet. You can create your templates. Now, the important thing here is when you create a template, not only are you telling the system what you're doing, how many reps and sets you're doing, like a traditional flow sheet, but you're also putting in the duration, what you're charging it as, any modifiers if you add them, any treatment precautions, and supporting documentation. Now, this is huge because what this is this becomes more than a flow sheet, it becomes an entire billing log. All the data from here automatically appears on the claim review tab. The system keeps track of your scheduled time versus your treatment time, and the system will let you keep track of timed codes and untimed codes. You can create flow sheet templates. You can build your own flow sheet from scratch, or you can choose from an existing template. And you can click a button. I'll actually zoom in here. You can click a button and effortlessly edit that flow sheet template if you wanted to. You can also simply clone a previous flow sheet component. So all you do is you click the duplicate button, and then the system is now going to help you clone what you did in the previous visit. You can even preview everything you've done for the patient since day one and generate a PDF file of that flow sheet as well. The assessment is a simple, straightforward section with two text boxes. The plan of care automatically displays the ICD code that you chose. Under subjective, you can choose your own procedures and modalities. The list of procedures and modalities can actually be customized. You can decide whether you want the physician signature, or you can have InTouch EMR automatically enable this for you. You can enable the name of the physician to display. You can have extended providers listed on the plan of care as well. All you have to do to see a preview is to click the Generate Plan of Care button and then click on this PDF icon. When you click on the PDF icon, you'll get a preview of the plan of care. You can see how professional, how simple and straightforward it looks, and it'll automatically have the signature of the clinician as well, and it'll ask the physician to sign, and you can even have the physician's name appear on the actual document. Finally, you review everything. On the Claim Review tab, you simply click Save Billing. The system will then alert you if there's any problem with the claim, and then once you fix that problem, you can return to this page and then try and hit save billing again. If everything's good, you'll get a notification that you're ready to finalize the document. At that point, you click finalize. You put in the credentials of the provider. Now, you can, if you want, disable finalize for certain providers like students or assistants. And you can also create a submit for review function where they can submit a document to you for review. Once a document is finalized, you can add amendments to the doc. So if I was to click on the A button under completed documents, and if I was to expand it, and I was to say make an amendment, patient error, and if I was to do that, I can easily enter record amendment. And all I do once I do that is I click view, and the moment I click accept, the button here changes from green to blue. And then that's simply telling you made an amendment there. So at a glance, the clinician can view everything that's going on with the patient. The dashboard control center gives the clinician additional options as well. Under administration, the clinician can set session inactivity, can review audit logs, can control permissions for other staff members. InTouch EMR also has a detailed analytics component that gives you detailed data about productivity for that particular clinic. You can view detailed statistics on scheduled visits, on documented visits, on in-progress visits, on how many cancellations were there for the practice. You can see a breakdown of how many appointments are new versus no-show versus cancelled, how many are in progress, how many are finalized, and what percentage of the finalized visits are daily notes, for example. The clinic comparator is a valuable feature. All of these features can be broken down by providers, can be broken down by clinic, can be broken down over a certain number of days. And this now allows you to compare clinics and say, okay, which clinics are doing better? What's the average number of visits per patient? The revenue predictor feature in InTouch EMR now dynamically tells you what's going on with your payers. What are the payers that you're the most dependent on? Which are the ICD codes that you're billing out the most? Which are the CPT codes you're billing out the most? It'll also tell you which are the referring physicians that you're the most dependent on. How's your productivity? which referral sources should you depend less on, and finally, what percentage of your patients are commercial versus Medicare. Under the add-ons section, you can set up your autocomplete text fields. You can review faxes that have gone out and that have failed. So if I go to the fax center, I can actually click on the fax reporting button and review all the faxes that went out, and the system will actually alert me if any faxes have failed with an icon on the fax number. So if I see something like this, I know that that fax was failed, and all I have to do now is click on the fax button, and the system will let me refax that exact document with one click. I can even run a claim summary report, and within a matter of seconds, I can actually identify which claims have been finalized. In this case, I've determined that these claims are finalized for this patient, Alan Riley. I'm able to identify the appointment date, the rendering provider, the document type, the date of service, place of service, the codes that were billed out, the CPT codes, modifiers units. All of this is valuable data for a biller. I can set up my own autocomplete phrases that I use most often so that when I'm documenting, I simply use those phrases. We even provide you with a global list of autocomplete phrases that you can use and that you can use to speed up your documentation. Under marketing, InTouch EMR is integrated with therapy newsletter. It's integrated with clinical contact. We automatically send appointment reminders. 24 hours prior to the appointment, the patient will get a text message saying, "Hi Susie, this is a message from ABC Physical Therapy to confirm your appointment on January 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time," and so on and so forth. The patient will also get a phone call saying, "Hi Susie, this is a call from ABC Physical Therapy to confirm your appointment on January 5th at 5 p.m. EST. Press 1 to confirm, 2 to cancel, 3 to reschedule." If the patient presses 1 to confirm, they'll hear a message. If the patient presses 2 to cancel or 3 to reschedule, they'll hear a message that says, "Please hold while we connect your call to the clinic," and the system will automatically direct the call to the clinic. And we provide several ongoing resources in the academy. We provide you training on referral generation, on ICD-10 and compliance. We do several webinars on ICD-10 and compliance that you'll have access to as an InTouch EMR client. And finally, we also have a patient portal where patients can log in at intouchpatient.com. Patients can submit an online request for an appointment. Patients can review their calendar and see all upcoming appointments. Patients can complete forms that you can designate. So you can actually have patients fill out forms, and then these forms will automatically pre-populate documentation. Patients can even upload documents through their patient portal that are shared with you in a HIPAA compliant manner and automatically added to InTouch EMR. So all in all, InTouch EMR is a one-stop shop for scheduling, documentation, billing, and marketing for your practice. The one thing you want to keep in mind is whenever a claim is finalized in InTouch EMR, it appears in green on the calendar. The claim is automatically transmitted to InTouch Biller Pro. Good luck with InTouch EMR, and we look forward to automating the before, during, and after experience that you have with your patients.